Leo, I know it's Saturday. You gotta wake up. We're talking clouds. No, no, no. Not chucking them. We're just talking about the cloud in general. I thought it might be kind of fun for us to go through our process a little bit, you know. So, I'm I was on Xbox for a second. There is a new Prince of Persia game that is the title is laughable. Um and I am gonna give it a shot after I record this. But I was trying to do the cloud gaming with it's literally called the Rogue Prince of Persia. Can you guess what kind of game it is? That's right, it's a puzzle building platformer. No, it's literally a roguelite version of Prince of Persia. I was a fan of some of the old school Prince of Persia games. The new one that came out looked pretty off, not even mid, pretty awful. Um, just my opinion. But yeah, there's this new rogue like Prince of Persia game that I'm just like, I don't know how it's. I guess it feels a little forced. I saw it last night and I was like, who the heck would download this? But then I'm like, oh, it's on Game Pass. Oh, I might, I might check it out. It's not a very big game, but I was like, oh, let me just cloud stream play it and see if it's any good. And I was in the first part of the settings and I couldn't get in. It was like choose your colorblind settings, which obviously I got to pick my colorblind settings. Big ups for that question at the least. But then I couldn't, I couldn't go to the next thing. So it was just like awful cloud stuff like always. And it got me thinking, dude, you can go get your own coffee. It got me thinking that we should like fix cloud stuff. Like if Microsoft is going to be a $4 trillion company that pivots all like every part of their business to the cloud, maybe the cloud should actually work or like, do something. Here Oh my goodness. No. What an insult. For instance, can anyone tell me how much Sony is worth? Everyone's always like, "Oh, who would ever have an Xbox?" And like I'm always like at I think the people that all the 70 million people that got their info leaked during that like PlayStation hack or whatever, I think they're all just like, if you didn't leave PlayStation after that, you were clearly never ever ever getting off Sony's dick. So that's fine. That's fine. I suck Microsoft's. It's fine. I'm just saying, don't act like PlayStation's better than Xbox when they're the exact same fucking thing. And in fact, I'm gonna point something out here. So Sony, like Apple could buy Sony, right? Like Apple could probably just buy the PlayStation and like put it in their Apple car or like integrate it with the iPhone, whatever. They would never do that, but I'm saying Sony is a $171 billion company. They were up 3.5% on Friday. On the year they're up 35%. Since a year ago, 54. Uh, since 5 years ago, which would probably be, yeah, August of COVID, they're up 80%. So most of their gains have come, yeah, basically since last, yeah, I guess after 2022, certain industries took a little longer to get back to punching the sky, whatever. Um, Dude, yeah, isn't that crazy? Sony's only $171 billion. Like that's so crazy to me. I know it's a lot of money, but like it's also like, I like Nvidia. Does anyone actually think Nvidia is like like if everyone sold their shares of Nvidia, everyone would go, yeah, yeah, but like that was totally worth $4 trillion. Um, but so yeah, Microsoft is basically Yeah, we'll just get how many times bigger in market cap is Microsoft than PlayStation? Roughly 24 times. So that's not bad. That's like 8 field goals. That's nothing. Is I don't think Microsoft's at 3.4, so this might even be less accurate. Although I could just be missing something. Oh, maybe it was. No, they're at 3.7. No, they're like 26 times bigger. Nice number. They're like 26 times bigger than Sony. So anyone that knows anything about Microsoft knows they lose money on Xbox, right? They lose money on Xbox. This is why they started the cloud, like pivoting everything to the cloud. Like for instance, you can't clip your games anymore, or like you can't put your clips on a physical drive anymore. Unless I somehow just accidentally hit the button that did it, and so did all my friends. When you clip something, it sends it to your OneDrive. I don't buy OneDrive space. I hit a lot of cool clips. I can never record any of my clips anymore. Also, because a year or two ago, Microsoft decided you're not going to be able to hold on to your replays and clips after 90 days after you like clip them basically. So you have 90 days after you clip them or Microsoft just cuts them. And we as Xbox players have just been like whatever, that's cool with me. I have friends that are begging for an Xbox without a disc drive, and they just want something with like less utility for no reason, almost just to be like, yeah, there's no disc drive, like it's a flex or something. Like, did no one remember how important it was to be able to have a Blu-ray player that you could also play games on? Like, how else do you think? Like, we talked our dad into getting a PS3 for us. Like, we were like, hey, Blu-rays. Think about it. It'll be like the movies at home. Plus, we can play Madden. You know, tell any dad that they'll go spend $400 on a PS3. I bet. um. Anyway, so one thing I want to talk about though is everyone says Microsoft loses money on Xbox. True. They lose money on Xbox. So how does Sony make money on PlayStation? And this is what we're going to solve together. Again, I could share my screen. I don't want to show you the 5 billion things I have going right now. So we're just going to try to figure this out. So, we're going to look at Sony's balance sheet real quick. Oh, it's in yen. That'll make it easier for sure. Can we get a breakdown? Oh, Sony themselves. Yeah, this will probably be. Oh, this is a year old. That's fantastic. And this is also one of the really annoying things about trying to figure out what a company's up to. Um, oh, here we go. That's so wild. Okay. Oh, Form 20F. This. Wait, no, isn't this just a. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's nothing. Alright. Now I'm gonna actually start Googling like a loser. Uh, PlayStation contribution percentage to Sony sales and or sorry, to Sony revenue and profit. Oh, and expenses. Um, the PS5 made $136 billion in sales in 5 years. Yeah, like no. Like that's a cool headline, but like it's just funny. Um 36% of Sony's total revenue was PlayStation. PlayStation related. Uh they made 2.8 billion dollars last year. Nice. That's like what, like half a McDonald's. um that is, I guess, interesting that PlayStation's operating income is 2.8 billion. So it looks like they are actually making money on it, but like again, I don't know how if Microsoft loses much. Like obviously there's a thing of like, oh, they make it on the accessories and like all, oh, maybe it's just the PlayStation Network stuff. They've got a stranglehold on a lot of people with that one. Again, like I don't understand. Never mind. I think loyalty is underrated, and I think also people don't know what to be loyal to. And so let's do an exercise, Leo. Um, yeah. So, hmm, I hate volcanoes. I love volcanoes. Why? Why do you care? Well, that's a good point. Respect. Now, if I said volcanoes suck, and then Leo said, I'll have you know, my father was Mount Everest. How do you think I'm going to take that? I don't care. That's clearly not real, you know? If you actually not vindicated, but like if you actually stand by like what you're saying, I'd be inclined to believe you. Um I'm getting off track. I don't even know what that last point was about. Leo, do you like viruses on your computer? No. Do you like putting viruses on other people's computers? Yeah. So, isn't that kind of hypocritical? You don't like when you get viruses, but then you give them to other people? Okay, now Leo's gonna go to church for the... until Monday. That's fine. That's fine. He does that every once in a while. He just feels a bout of guilt and needs to go make peace with it. That's fine. Oh yeah, gotta give him the keys. Catch. All right. What was I talking? Oh yeah, the cloud. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I got caught in the Microsoft PlayStation rivalry, considering like PC blows them and Nintendo out of the water anyway. But guess what? Microsoft is, I think, like 90% of like computers are Windows still. So like, ah. And then what's even more funny is like, you only buy Windows one time. Like, uh, I guess sometimes you buy an Xbox one time, but like with how the console cycles work, like you usually kind of keep buying an Xbox about the same rate as you probably would a computer, maybe a little more so. But I just find it fascinating that all of Microsoft's stuff is shifting to the cloud. They lose money on Xbox. They like by every metric I can account for in the world, and not just people online like touting whatever they've spent their money on. PlayStation seems to be the more popular platform, and yet Microsoft, who is completely cloud driven, cloud focused, cloud based solutions, all that bullshit. I can't play Prince of Persia on the cloud. Last fall when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, and it was like people paid $200 for the ultimate edition, whatever. They couldn't play because they couldn't download it. They had to play it on the cloud, and then it didn't work on the cloud at launch. Isn't that fantastic? But it's just weird to me how like a company can only be focused and literally just unapologetically be saying, "Hey, everything we're doing the cloud. You're gonna pay us every month to keep whatever the fuck you put in your OneDrive, and till the day you die, you're just gonna keep paying us for that OneDrive space, and that's our business model. I'm on the hook with it right now with Game Pass. I'll probably dump Game Pass, like honestly, in a little bit here. If Black Ops 7's a total flop, I'm definitely dumping Game Pass. Um, yeah, I saw a thing. Liberty Falls on Black Ops 6 was the most played zombies map of all time, allegedly. Which, like, there's a lot of things wrong with that statement, considering this is, like, the first free-to-play COD that you could play on Game Pass, obviously. It was the most Subway Surfers ass zombies map that a 5-year-old could probably get to round 50 on. One of my friends, when we played zombies on Liberty Falls, he asked me, you know, oh, it doesn't actually seem that hard to, like, get to round 100. And then we were on, like, round 15, and I was like, as someone who, well, I mean, up to the tomb, right? Got round 200 on the tomb, round 100 every other map, up to the tomb, and then I stopped, obviously. But yeah, I might say something like that, like, oh yeah, round 100, it's not even that bad. But then, like, for someone who's never gotten past round 25, I'm like, you can actually go suck a dick, because you have no idea what you're talking about. Now, granted, this is a friend who never knows what he's talking about, and I think hides behind a degree to think he knows what he's talking about, or, like, some arbitrary form of, like, money in a bank account to think you know what you're talking about. And to that, I'll just say, speedrun me in the Terminus egg. We'll see what happens. But I get really annoyed when people say, like, things are easy, things are hard, like, blanket for everybody, like, when they haven't even experienced it, right? Like, people complain, people hype shit up, but then, like, when you haven't even experienced it and you're talking like you're the expert, right? I was actually talking about that. Oh, Leo's already gone, dude. Dang it. I was talking about this a little. Oh, okay, we're good. So, like, there's this thing called, not to be that guy. I'm totally gonna be that guy for a second. There's this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm sure some of you know about it, but it's like one of the funniest things that you can experience in real time with someone. Programming, I have definitely been through a lot of the ebbs and flows of kind of this mechanic of life or whatever. I don't know when it was introduced, but probably shouldn't use that. This is my last good one of these, but that's fine. I gotta make a point. So the point is, there's this graph, right? This is gonna be the best graph you've ever seen. So it's I actually don't know. I'm not gonna look up exactly how it works. I'm just gonna go off, like, how I feel like it works. It's something kind of like this, right? Like, obviously, it's probably a little more. Here, wait, let me do a second one. Like, if we start all the way at the bottom, shoot up, boom. This second one might be a little bit closer to, like, actual, like, in real time. At least, like, for programming, this is how this one feels for me. But so, what you have here is the amount of time you've spent on something, on a discipline, a hobby, activity, whatever. Maybe you just started learning how to cook, right? You might make, like, 2 good meals, and you're over here, right? Like, you made mac and cheese and, like, an egg sandwich or something. And you're like, oh my gosh, cooking is actually not that bad. It's pretty fun. It's pretty rewarding, all this stuff. And then you decide to make, like, orange chicken by hand from scratch in a crock pot. And then you're down here, right? You're up here with confidence, and then you mess up, like, 3 recipes in a row, and you're like, oh my gosh, do I even know how to cook? Like, for for programming, right? You learn how to type things into the console, and you're like, oh my god, I'm actually learning how to do shit. And then the second you think you know something, you just go a little bit further down and a little bit further down, a little bit further down, and then you start crawling your way back up. It's very hard for me with my friends because I'm busy a lot, so I don't get to talk to them too much. I don't want to just be confrontational with them and be like, hey, you're talking out of your ass like a dumbass right now. Like you're talking like you're all the way you're talking like you're all the way over here. Like you're at your 10,000 hours. Like you're the expert. But you've only just begun, and therefore you have the most confidence you'll probably ever have on this topic. And it irks me. It irritates me. You know, a lot of these people might be, whatever. I'm not going to get into specifics. The thing I will specifically say, though, is that the more time I put into something, the more I feel like I can get creative with it. So, like, as much as my confidence with the thing is going down because I'm being creative, right? It's so easy to just do the bare minimum. It's so easy to put things in a calculator. It's so easy to look up a news article of the most optimal min-maxy thing to do. I've talked about this at length pretty much in every single one of these. Oh shit, Leo's back from church. Yeah, we're talking about the Dunning-Kruger effect. What, did you atone for your sins, bro? Oh! Interesting. Leo's got an idea. You know that basket that they hand out at church? Yeah, what if we put a little trap door in it? We put a little trap door in it, so that way, like, when it came to us and we put like $1 in it, like it like pulled out like the like little thing in it. And I like it. I really like it. You know, it's all cash. It's all off the books. Woo. You know, the church doesn't need it. Oh my goodness, it's perfect. It's scamming the perfect people. It's genius. We're scamming the scammers. And if you don't think churches are scams, I would ask you if they pay taxes. Now, with a lot of my opinions out of the way, I actually, maybe this is a good analogy for how I'm, right, let's take a look at something that I'm too overconfident about in this regard. Religion. Sure. I'm so young. I'm so stupid. This is what every adult says to me. I'm so young and liberal and not conservative, and as I age, I'll become more conservative and see it the way that you do. Maybe I won't want to kill babies. Maybe I won't want to, have is that like all people are worried about? Oh yeah, tariffs I guess are kind of, that's not good. Anyway, all I was trying to say with this is maybe I'm up here because maybe I'm somewhere around here because I used to be an atheist, so I was back here, and now I'm agnostic, so maybe I'm kind of down here. But I've just always had a weird thing with religion, and so maybe that's how other people see where I'm at on this thing, and they're just like, oh yeah, so naive, so like whatever, and I don't really care. Because I think if you take stock in religion too much, like that you're signing yourself up for whatever you want to do in that regard. I think I have more fun ideas for afterlife and for how you can go about being a good person than all this bullshit that has already been like written down like thousands of years ago that is, lame. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I know. We could try to run a game real quick, but like I said, the Prince of Persia cloud game, the whole reason I made this video, it didn't let me play the game. I thought it was cool that there was, you know, like the colorblind setting, but I couldn't even hop in on cloud. It's a gigabyte, so it'd probably be downloaded in 2 seconds. I don't care. That's not what it's about. It's about the fact that Microsoft only focuses on the cloud and it's still fucking broken. It's still in beta. How? How? Like, the only game I can do remote play on that actually works is Bloons Tower Defense 6 for the Xbox, which already is basically a mobile or PC game. Which is pretty funny. Yeah. I think I might have a control problem. Like, I want to control all these things that are, like, changing all the time. And I feel like I put that on other people sometimes. Where I'm just like, you know, I'll do something that's just like, you know, it's like I don't know. It's like next thing. That was lame. Next thing. Um, let's draw another line. So this line is what I like to call our profit plan. If you saw the last video, me and Leo's goal is to make 2% a day for the next year so we can 1200x our money. And this is how it's going so far. Yeah, pretty good, right? Yeah. Um, I don't know. Hmm. I do think it's weird that Microsoft is so much bigger than Sony, and like Sony basically dominates Xbox like nowadays. It can't possibly be because of the UI. Both consoles have shitty, like really shitty UI. Um, like the OG 360, I don't know why they don't just go back to that. I remember there was a cool Xbox One UI that like it wasn't as good as the 360, but it was cool, and they changed it like I think in like 2015, 2016 or something. It was really lame. I still remember the day that update came out. I was like, what the now I kind of miss the old one. I used to complain about that one, and now this one's even worse. Yeah, like I don't know who's in charge of all this shit, but it sure ain't me. Um, and I think that's why I like to take matters into my own hands. Right? Like I can't fix zombies by complaining about it. I can't fix zombies by insulting my friend being like how the fuck do you think you can get round 100 when you haven't even beaten round 20 or whatever? Like who does that help? Nobody. I'm just trying to give them a reality check, but in reality it's probably a boost to my own shit because I'm just like, "Oh, I've done this, like it's whatever." But you haven't, so shut up. But it's also in my opinion valid because like again, when people talk out of their ass, I need to let them know. Okay? That's one of my biggest problems is like when people are like either like working off false information. Again, this is all according to information that I think isn't false, right? And so like there's this whole thing with that too. And as someone who's been psychotic, you can start to feel like you're the one that's crazy if you're in a group of people and the same shit happens over and over again and no one's calling them on it. You will start to feel crazy and just be like, I have to say something, or like, am I just like, am I just hearing a voice or something? Like, is this just nothing? And I'll say something and be like, oh wait, yeah, I forgot. Everyone's a fucking pushover for no reason. Everyone's just tuned out after their workday. No one gives a shit what everyone else is actually saying to them. It's weird. And I hop on Xbox and I'm like, "Oh, it's time for my hour break from programming and door dashing. Time to say what's up to everybody." But you know what happens right when I get off Xbox? It's not the end of the night, man. We come out here, we think up a church scam, we work on the snake game a little more, we work on our, a random card game, work on whatever new Yu-Gi-Oh deck I want to try to make. We can keep working on our eventual Pokemon clone game that's going to be freaking awesome. Honestly, this whole time making this Snake game, I'm really glad we decided to fully flesh it out and not just like make Snake for like 3 days and then be like, okay, that was it, project done, next. Like, I've really enjoyed, Leo, how we've gone about navigating this thing. I'm so glad we gave ourselves 5 years instead of 5 months like a freaking idiot, Um, I'm so glad you don't assume we need to sell the game and all this stuff when we're working on it. Like, we just need to make something that's truly ours. That, like, let's be honest, every piece of my code has probably been written by someone else for something else. So, like, nothing about the code itself is original besides how we put it together, which is awesome because that's all a book is, right? Like, you can't have a book with words that have never been written. Like, everyone's written the word once. How are you not plagiarizing? Like, the Bible has the word "the" in it. Every time you use the word "the," royalty. No, sorry. Uh, it's 8 in the morning. I'm starving. Um, Anything else? I don't think so. That's it for the show. I guess we could maybe play a song at the end. That could be fun. Leo, can you think of something real quick while I get Snip set up? Yeah. The football's about to start. That's cool. Yeah, sports. Um, Football. I was an O-line, D-line guy, so most of my takes about football aren't that interesting. It's just that everyone focuses on the wrong stuff, you know. Every boomer football take basically. Um Almost just played copyrighted music. That would have been fun. Can I please? Please. There. Give me some Camaro. There we go. So, while we end this session, aha! Our sleeved ace of spades. Yeah, I've been trying to think up random ideas for this, just like ever since we made that video. Because I do think there's some fun mechanics with it, like, oh, I'm in debt. I show the 8 of hearts and shuffle it back into my deck, gaining 8 life. Like, that's so fun. Like, that's the fun of the danger cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, I reveal Danger Nessie in my hand. Now you pick a random card that goes to the graveyard. Ha! You didn't pick Danger Nessie. Summon! Just, I think that's kind of fun, anyway. But, yeah. The cloud sucks. Boycott Amazon, boycott Take-Two Interactive, and boycott these nuts, because everyone else is.